Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gentleman here, and I had no motivation to make a video today, so you get this now, and hopefully it's not terrible. So the story I have for you guys today is about a couple of Mormon girls that I know, very much breaking the rules of Mormonism. That's basically all I have for an intro, but I do want to say I went to Comic-Con yesterday, and I got a signature from Reagan Murdoch, the voice of Aki in Chainsaw Man, the anime. Signed my poster for me. Very cool person to talk to. Loved it. Shout out to Reagan Murdoch. Love Reagan Murdoch. I also got to ask a question to the entire cast at a panel. Excellent experience. Loved it, but that's not really important right now. I just want to talk about it because I'm still, fawning over it. But anyways, Mormon girl story. Yay. So this story takes place a couple years back. And, I was hanging out with my friends, and we didn't really have much to do. But my one friend, Harry, I've mentioned him before. That's obviously not actually his name, but that's what we're calling him. He was big into going to these dances, the Mormon dances, as we call them. And it was basically just if you know school dances where it just had a bunch of people in a gym, and like occasionally they'd have like a little bit of food and whatnot, but they'd just be playing like the most PG-13, no, just actually not PG-13, the most PG music if they possibly could, and just a bunch of people like in a gym with like colored lights and loud music. It's like a school dance, and that's what the Mormon dances were. They'd have them every so often for kids, I think age 12 to 17 is the criteria. I don't actually remember. I didn't care enough to remember, but my one friend really enjoyed going to these. They were never, I didn't really love them, but he'd always invite me. And so me and a couple friends, I believe, went one time. And, it's never really been my scene. Every time I've agreed to go, it's because a lot of my other friends were agreed to go. And they're like, yeah, we'll join, we'll go. It'll be a good time, we'll just hang out like the guys and be idiots. And it'll be fun. And so that's always why I agree to go. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I want to hang out with you guys, so I'll come. But it's never really been my scene. I've never really enjoyed them all that much. So this one time I'm there, and I want a drink. I want something to drink. So I go over to the counter where the drinks are, and I ask like, yo, do you guys have any Coke? Because, that's a pretty solid choice. Like, go to any restaurant, and they will probably have Coke, if not Pepsi. But you get what I'm saying. They will usually have some sort of cola. And this time I go over and I ask, like, hey, do you guys have any Coke? Now, this was a restaurant, but it's a really common choice, and it's easy to get a hold of is what I'm getting at. Because I was really feeling some Coke this evening. And they're like, nope, sorry, we don't. And I'm like, really? You don't have Coke? And they're like, yeah, no, it has caffeine in it. We don't allow that in here. And I'm like, oh, right. So that was a lot of fun. And I'm like, oh, okay. Can I just have a water then? And they're like, yeah, sure, here you go. And they gave me the water. And I'm drinking my water because I'm thirsty. And, I'm just chilling there, drinking my water. But I start really craving this Coke. I want that Coke. But they didn't have it. They wouldn't give it to me. So I tell my friend, I'm like, yo, it's heating up in here, which it was, because there's a bunch of sweaty bodies in here, and it's really hot. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to get some air. And he's like, okay, cool. Just come find me when you come back in. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And so I leave out these doors. It's immediately a lot nicer outside. And as I'm outside, I start going for a walk to find a convenience store because your boy wants a Coke. So I go look for one. And luckily there's a convenience store not that far away from where this dance was. So I don't have to walk too far to get there. And when I get there, I walk in, I buy my Coke, and I buy it. And then I walk out and start drinking it. And then I realize it smells like weed. And like smelling like weed around like a gas station is not weird at all. That's a pretty common occurrence. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And I realized that on my walk there, I walked like the longer way, and I put together the shorter way in my brain when I got there. So I started going the shorter way to get back. But that involves me going around the back of the gas station. And so I go there, and I notice the weed smell is getting stronger. And then when I get to the back, I see these two girls just huddled there. And they're smoking a joint. But then it clicks in my head. I'm like, oh, I know these girls. I know them. And they're Mormon. And they're not just like they're like Mormon. Like they're very Mormon. They are like hardcore. And there they are just smoking weed. And I'm like, I am just absolutely dumbfounded. And so they like stand up immediately. They like put it out and they're like, "Hey, what did you see?" And I'm like, "I saw you guys smoking weed." And she's like, "No, okay, you can't tell anyone. Can't tell anyone. Okay, this is like the only time we've done it. Someone told us to do it. Like we don't even like it. Like we're never gonna do it again. Like just don't tell anyone, okay?" And I'm like, "Look, I'm not a snitch. I don't care. I just think it's funny. I want you to know that I will laugh at this for a long time to come." I didn't say that. But I said, like, I don't care. I'm not going to tell anyone, okay? Like, you don't have to worry about me. And I start walking away. And they're like, "Hey, you have to promise, okay?" And it's like, "Okay, I promise." They're like, "Okay, thank you." And then they kind of just sit back down and they start, like, whispering to each other. I don't hear what they say. But I just keep walking, going back to the place, drinking my Coke. And you know what? The Coke was very, very refreshing. I remember that specifically. And I got back. I just hung out with my friends for a little bit longer. I never really told anyone about this because I just didn't care to. And yeah, just had a rest of the night with my friends, not doing much. And then eventually we went home. And that was that. So that was a kind of a shocking discovery, but hey, whatever. And yeah, moral of the story, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. There is no moral to the story. Just don't be like them. If you're going to break the rules, do it loud and proud. Don't actually do that. Don't listen to me. I don't know what the moral of the story is. The moral of the story is unknown. That is the moral of the story. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Leave a like if you did. Maybe watch some more story times if you think they might be worth your time. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.